Hello. Let me turn on my light. Okay. Pause. I'm gonna hop into it because I know people, I want to give people back their nights and stuff, so I will hop right into things. So first and foremost, I am super, super happy to be back. For those of you that follow me, you definitely have known that I've been going through a really bad, difficult time in terms of my health, and it's just another day living life with lupus, honestly. So I'm kind of used to it by now, and I feel like even though I'm used to it, those days don't get easier. So I'm super stoked to be back. I worked all day today, my full-time job, as if it was business as usual, and went to the office and stuff. So I was super, super happy to do that. And I surprisingly still have energy thanks to our nice energy, but again, super happy to be back. So jumping into kind of just why the change, what is this? Is this like a new group? What is this? So when I was going through my flare, I had a lot of time. So I had a lot of time for self-development, just thinking. The fact that I got sick again kind of set me back a little bit, and I was just thinking like how I was taking so much good care with my health, and I don't understand why I'm getting sick again. Like what's happening? Turns out it was like a virus or something, but that's a little isolated. But I was just thinking like, why is this happening again? And I kind of started to get into this like bad place. And I just wasn't myself. I didn't feel good at all. I just felt so tired and weak all the time. And I just felt like I can't do anything. I was like, but that's so like opposite of my actual personality. I'm such a go-getter. I'm super independent. I don't like things being done for me most of the time. So, having to make people do things for me, it was just like, it's so weird, for me, someone like me. So, I had a lot of time to just sit, retrospect, and just kind of take a deeper look into things and where I wanted to take things. Because one thing I did notice was that I wasn't putting as much effort into my business, and I was like, am I not putting effort into it because I'm tired, or am I not putting effort into it because I'm lost? Like, am I just confused, or I don't know, what to do? And that's just another symptom of of lupus. It's like you get into this foggy state. So I was still posting. I was still, doing host to post and getting people to help me out and stuff. And I kind of was like, I'm doing like all of these things behind the scenes. I got into like email marketing and stuff. Like I was just doing all of these different things. And I was like, you know what? I want to be able to like share this stuff with more people. I feel like a lot of the things that I do share with people, it's not in a big space, not in a big community or things like that. I do attend events in person where I speak about different types of topics related to digital media and marketing, because that is one of my my strengths. I work in it full time. So, it's something that I have a lot of knowledge in. It's something I pretty much perfected and became super proficient in. I know it at the back of my hand. A new algorithm can roll out and I'll know exactly how to go about it. So I'm like thinking, why am I keeping all of this to myself? I need to be able to share this with not just people on my immediate team, but everybody. And I found myself talking to all types of entrepreneurs, from, fashion influencers to, the typical, clothing fashion designer or something, or, a beauty person that makes makeup or makeup related products, so helping all types of people. And then obviously we have us, the health and wellness. I've also encountered all types of network marketers online since starting this business. It is a pretty small world in terms of, what businesses are more well known and more successful. So if you are in a successful business, you'll know because people will respond well to it, or they'll just know, oh, I've heard of that before, type of thing. So, it's something that I feel. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. I heard like a noise or something. But so, in terms of meeting other people, I should say, it's something that I feel I wanted to just share with everybody, because I was already doing it. I felt like, and I'm all about this. If I'm already doing it, I need to like do something of it. So I was already posting on social media. Why not start a business, a social media business, right? So that's kind of like how things work. I was already talking to people, all types of people, no matter whether they were on my team, on my sideline, or whatever, or on a completely different, part of a completely different company. And I still share my tips. And I just felt like it doesn't matter what company you're in. It doesn't matter, what it is, what your focus is. When it comes to network marketing and when it comes to marketing and online marketing in general, the stuff is the same. The strategy is going to be the same. All you're going to do is change the messaging. All you're going to do is just kind of change the voice a little bit. But the strategies, the actual, steps that you need to take to find success, that's all going to be fairly consistent. Obviously every company has their own little thing, but across the board, it's going to be pretty consistent. So I felt that I wanted to start a group where people could just collaborate, bounce ideas off of each other, share things that they want to share, open forum. And I want to, just teach people too. So I want to help educate people, especially new people that have not joined this before, or just not familiar with marketing at all, and just kind of talk things through. And obviously, share your thoughts and anything, like if you discovered something, like, so it's pretty much an open forum. And I'm going to be recording all of these training sessions that I do every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for now. I thought of increasing it to twice a week to accommodate more people's schedules, but since I'm just getting back to work after being out for medical leave for a while, I'm taking it slow. So I'm forecasting in June that I will be able to increase it to twice a week, where we can hash out all types of topics. Maybe focus on a different social network each week or something. I'm just really playing around with it right now, but I'm super excited to be bringing this to more people. People come to me a lot in person. They, pick my brain. And companies that I've left, I'm still friends with people there. We still stay in contact. We still collaborate. They still love to pick my brain and see what I know, how we can go about things. And I still help them out, because I feel like it doesn't make sense to withhold that type of information. We're all, at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. So let me go to my notes section, because your girl got to write notes. Okay, so what is the goal of CEO Strides? The goal is basically to collaborate together, to grow together, and this is the big part, erase the stigma of online marketing, erase the stigma of online entrepreneurs, and to erase the stigma of, stay-at-home boss babes. So that is what I want us to collectively work together as a group to try to, build each other up, help, bounce ideas off of each other in terms of strategy, and maybe you tried a certain tactic for a follow-up and it worked really well. Share those stuff. It doesn't make sense to just keep it to yourself. I just feel like that just, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so erasing that whole stigma by building each other up, just kind of breaking down these walls that people have when it comes to network marketing. So if you have a potential that is, they want to start their own business, but they just don't know where to go or how to start it, or you have somebody that is just super driven, you have like a best friend that's just like super driven, they're super independent and are just such go-getters, and you just see that fire in them and you just see that they'd be successful, invite them to the group and just see if they receive everything well. And if they do, maybe they'll get inspired, they'll connect with a person, because at the end of the day, it's all about connecting and building the relationship with people. So we need to set that foundation first. So erasing the stigma, collaborating, and growing are the main goals of the group that I'm trying to shape. And obviously, it's just starting. It's just in its early stages. So we have so much room to grow. And I really can't even wait until we, see where this is going to go, because I know that people that are runners and people that are go-getters are there to, learn constantly. Which brings me to my next point of, maintaining personal development, meeting like-minded people. And again, as I mentioned, the company you're with does not matter, because at the end of the day, personal development is universal, as is when you're meeting like-minded people. like-minded people. It's right there in the word. We just all are driven people. We have ambition. We have a goal. We have passion. We have grit. You know, just things that make an entrepreneur what an entrepreneur is. You will see that if you haven't been to any type of networking events or, you know, entrepreneur type of events that are focused around that, I recommend visiting one, attending one, I should say, because it is just so life-changing to attend events like that. And it doesn't need to be a company event. Like, I've attended events in the city that are just entrepreneurs in general, like all kinds of entrepreneurs. I met this person that is building a business where they like test the water or something like that. And she was like talking to me about all of these different, like, I don't even know, like these sciencey things. And I'm not a science person, if you can't tell, but like, and it was just like the way she was describing it just sounded so interesting. And I've never heard of these things before. So for me, I was like really into what she was saying. And then, like, you know, on the flip side, I was talking to her about what I do and like how I'm more of like an online influencer / educator, trainer, mentor, whatever it is you want to label it. And I was kind of talking through what it is that I do and stuff like that. And she really was receiving it very well. Thought it was awesome. And she was like, I have no idea what to do when it comes to social media. So that's really cool that you would understand that. And we're around the same age. We're not very far apart in age. So, you know, age doesn't matter when it comes to it. It really, what matters when it comes to, you know, growing a business is, you know, your passion, your dedication, you know, your grit, obviously, like not succumbing to the bad times or the rocky roads and, you know, pushing through it all, because that's what's going to shape you as a person. That's what's going to show you the strength. So taking it back a bit, you know, having this flare up, this is the second time that I've had a flare up that has lasted almost the entire month. The last time I had a bad flare up like this, it was actually when I just started my business, and I was out for like a month and a half of work. So like 6 weeks about. And this time it was only about 3. So cut it in half, which is awesome, which means that, you know, I'm recovering a lot faster than before. So that's awesome just to hear and see. But, you know, having this flare up really brought me to a place where I felt more driven than ever. You know, after I got out of my little funk, I always end up in like a little funk. I don't know why. It's just like, I'm just such a go-getter that when my body shuts down like that, I'm always just like, no, like, you have to get up, you have to go. And like, it's just like, no, Kelsey, you need to rest. And it's the worst feeling in the world for somebody that is just go, go, go all the time. And when I was explaining that to one of my coworkers, because she's the same way, she was just like, that really sucks. She's just like, I would never, like, I don't know how you do that. And I'm just like, I don't know how you do it either. I just got to do what you got to do, you know? So it is what it is. I don't fight reality or fight what is meant to be. And I knew that it was just another blessing in disguise. And now I have, you know, established another brand. I don't even know how many brands I've built to this day. I've built so many brands, like not just my own, but other brands. So I've built another brand, and I've already like gotten the domain name and stuff, and I'm already starting to build a website for it. It's going to be, you know, it's just like so crazy because this came out of a bad time. So every time I go through dark periods like this, I am constantly just kind of telling myself, okay, something great is going to be at the end of this. And I know it's going to be there because I'm going through a rough time right now. And every time I've gone through a rough time, there's always been a light at the end. So that kind of brings me to my next topic that I want to talk about, which is, you know, steps to success. What does it take to be successful when it comes to network marketing? What are the actual steps? You know, so every company has their own steps. The company that I work with has their own steps, and you know, I want to make sure that, you know, everyone knows that the steps across the board are going to be consistent. Again, obviously, there's going to be some different things here and there, but in terms of what you need to do to succeed in network marketing is you need to constantly build your list. So your list of contacts, whether it's an email list you're keeping, whether it's adding new leads to your groups if you have a private group, whether it is, you know, just building a written list that you have of people you've spoken to, you know, adding them to an Excel sheet, whatever it is, however you track the people that you are talking to or conversing with, you want to make sure you're building every single day. Every single day. Meet new people in other groups about, you know, if you're a fitness person, go to a fitness group, and go meet some people there. You know, but when I say that, I don't mean just go in and add random people. You want to go in there, pretend that you are an well, not pretending, honestly. You are an expert in your business. So go in there, talk about, you know, help people. If people, and a lot of health things that I'm involved in, people are constantly asking questions about, you know, simple things about drinking water. Or like, you know, I don't know if I'm drinking enough water, and they'll put like a whole big backstory and stuff. And I'll comment on their stuff and I'll say like, this is what you should be doing, or this is how much water I drink, or I recommend you should drink based on what you're listing here. You know, so you can make sure that you're getting enough water. So I go in there and I just act. I keep saying act, but like I just go in there and I just like, you know, talk to people. I comment on everyone's stuff and I engage. I become an expert in my field. When it's beauty stuff, because I'm in beauty groups too, because I do have like a whole beauty brand. So I go in there and I just talk to people, you know, about all different things. I share pictures. If I put a picture, you know, if I did a makeup look or something, I'll put a picture. Maybe I'll write what I use, because they can do the same thing. I haven't shared videos in there yet, but I would. I would share videos. But that's another thing. So building and connecting with people, building your list, connecting with those people on your list. You want to make sure that you're building every day and you're talking to people every single day. Now, the people that you're building your list on, you don't want to annoy them. You don't want to come off as someone that's annoying, and you don't want to just end up messaging them every single, you know, like second of the day. You want to make sure that there's space in between when you are messaging people. It's good to have a follow-up day in the week. So, you know, Thursday and Friday are good follow-up days, because people usually get paid on those days. You know, I know sometimes people also get paid on the 1st and 31st, or the end of the month. That's another pay structure. You know, so those are good days to always follow up. But in terms of a weekly, I always recommend Thursday, Friday, because that's when people get paid. I usually don't do Mondays. Sometimes I will, depending on what's going on, but I usually don't do Mondays because people are just getting their week started. They're just going back to work. They're usually in a bad mood because they're going back to work. So that's not the best day to approach people. Maybe you'll get lucky. I mean, not everyone's in a bad mood Mondays. I'm obviously not in a bad mood. Or it's not Monday, it's Tuesday, but it's like a Monday because it's after Memorial Day. So, going back to work, like, it depends on the person. So Fridays, people are always happy. So you're always gonna get people in a good mood for the most part on Fridays, because people are just naturally happy. That Friday vibe is just it like engulfs everybody, right? Happy Friday is a common thing that happens in the office, at least in my office, on Fridays. So building, connecting, follow-ups. So that's the follow-up part. Now, another thing that you need to do when that section is all about like customers and like, you know, potential team members and stuff like that. That is how you will build that part of your business up. When it comes to building up the foundation of your business, you want to make sure that you are constantly learning. You know, if your team or if people on your team are hosting, I know power hours are super common, parties are common. If you're in fitness world, fits are common. If you are, you know, listening to a podcast or an audio book, if you're reading an actual book about entrepreneurship or, you know, the 4-hour work week, for example, things like that, that is going to better you as an entrepreneur. It's going to better your mindset. It's going to reshape your mindset, and it's going to inspire you in ways that's going to make you feel invincible. And every time I attend different power hours or, you know, online parties and stuff, I feel re-inspired. I'm always just like, what I've got is awesome. This is really cool, right? And that's what you want to feel when you are, you know, listening to these things or bettering yourself that way. When I listen to, you know, sometimes I listen to podcasts for like Bible verses or like scriptures and stuff, and sometimes I listen to, you know, different types of podcasts where it's more focused on just, you know, maybe social media, or maybe it's like just, you know, your personal development, when they talk more about your mind and just like, you know, having control over what you're doing, you know, more control over your emotions and things like that. But I like to do those things because they make me a better person. I've noticed in just a couple of months, I've grown so much in terms of just my mindset. And it's just been shifted in this way that I honestly feel unstoppable, which is probably why I was building a brand while flaring. So that is just crazy. I don't know like what's wrong with me. Like, it's like I have like different, I don't know, like something's up there. That is all the personal development stuff there. You know, I can't even begin to express how it really just completely shapes your mind. Like it's insane. So one thing that I'm trying to do is read more books. I do listen to a lot of videos because it's easy for me to do while I'm at work, and podcasts and stuff because it's easy for me to do while I'm at work. But you know, definitely incorporating books. I love to read, so that is totally going to be good. I read a lot of articles, though, a lot of online articles, a lot of tips and stuff, and I'm constantly reading the posts of other leaders, no matter what team they're on. Just any online entrepreneur, I read their posts and see how they're doing it, see how I can, you know, shape mine to be better or more inspirational. And I never settle where I am. You can always take it a step further. Where you are now, push to take it the next step further. Why not? Why do you want to stay there, right? So keep going, keep pushing. You think you reached a good spot? No, you need to keep going because we're all going to the top, and that is where we need to go. So, you know, constantly learning and bettering yourself is super, super important. Another thing that you should hold on to, your why story. You know, so when you are going through network marketing, and this does relate to your success directly, your why story is so powerful, so important, because that is what is going to take you far. You need to remember why you started, because not everyone takes that jump to start a business. Not everyone takes that leap to, you know, to make themselves vulnerable and to open themselves to the public, to people that they weren't even really close to. And here they are sharing their life story, right? Like, people just aren't like that. So you need to hold on to the reason why you did it. So I did it, and I got involved in this because my health was not in a good state. You know, I was just not, you know, I was flaring really, really bad. I just had so many symptoms, in and out of the hospital, and it was just like not a good time. You know, I had to completely stop working. I wasn't even like doing what I did now, where I had a modified schedule these past couple of weeks, where I was just working from home. But back then I wasn't even working because I could not work. I couldn't even think straight. You know, like literally, like I would do something and I would just forget the next second. So I could not do my job. There was no way I was going to be able to retain data, just to converse with people, build decks. Like, there's no way I was building strategies in that state. So, you know, I was kind of in a rut. Financially, I was in a rut too, because I had to pay for all of these hospital bills, these doctor bills, and I was working, on like disability. So I was getting paid like disability pay, which is only a portion of your check. And it sucked. It honestly sucked because I was so tight on my budget that if I, you know, bought even just like, you know, I don't know, like tissue paper or something, that would have thrown off my entire budget. Like, I was on such a tight budget. I had to reach out to my parents and to, you know, them to just have them help me more, because I just was not able to do it. So sometimes my mom would cover some of my doctor bills because I couldn't pay it at that time, and then I pay her back after I got back to work full time. But it was just a hard time. So I was looking for another way to make income from home, where I could be home and just sit on my couch and go on my computer and just do something really quick, or do it on my phone. And I was looking for something like that, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. So I was actually on Instagram, and that's when I found my mentor, and you know, the rest is history. But but it's funny like how life happens. But that's my why story. So my why really is to help others that are in the same boat that I'm in, that can't work because of this disease. And because there's some that are so bad, like some cases of lupus I've read that are just so bad, and people that I actually know personally. And I want to help people like that. I want them to be able to make their own income, not have to rely on disability, you know, and I want to be able to just inspire people, even if they aren't going to get into the job part of it, but just to inspire them from the outside, you know, so they read my posts or they just, you know, they feel that fuel inside them to just keep going, keep pushing. That is just as rewarding to me as the paycheck. Because honestly, this is not an easy thing to live with. I make it look easy. I know I look like I'm healthy on the outside, but it is not an easy thing to live with. And for someone like me to continuously keep pushing and pushing and pushing, that really should kind of speak volumes to things, because it really isn't easy, you know. So usually when I go about this, so the whole thing with this group that I'm doing now is like, I'm really trying to develop this community where people really are just like go-getters. And me getting sick this time really made me want to focus more on that, on the runners and the go-getters and people that are serious about this and serious about learning. They go to all of the events, they go to all of the trainings, they go to, you know, this and that. They ask questions, like people like that. Like, so I obviously, you know, when I was sick, my time was limited. I was still available, but my time was very limited because I was sleeping most of the time, just because my body would just completely shut down. You know, so for me, I really, really want people that are going to receive what I'm doing and what I'm saying and what I'm teaching and actually put it into action and really take this far, because everyone has that potential in them. You know, it's really just a matter of why you're doing it. You know, so again, the why story is super, super important. Remember why you started. Do you want to save for something big, you know, and you want to save fast? Do you want to just learn more about yourself and just grow as a person? You know, do you want to meet people that think like you? You know, maybe you're in a circle of people that don't think like you and you want to be surrounded by people that think like you. I know that my circle is half and half. I have a lot of friends now, especially now, but I had select friends even before I joined this new adventure, and of people that just thought just like me. You know, they had that same drive, they had a vision, and they were like, I want that. You know, and I've connected with people like that very well. And then I have some that are not really like that, where they're content where they are, and that's totally fine. You know, not everyone, you know, not everyone's going to be doing the same thing. Not everyone's going to chase the same thing. So, you know, maybe you just want to connect with other people that are just like you know, and that is what this is all about. I'm here to inspire, I'm here to teach, and that is what it's all about. So find out why you want to do it. If you don't already, you should know why you got into this, but you know, maybe you're getting, you know, a little confused or lost in what it is. Zero it down, hold on to it, and hold on to it for your entire time that you're running the business. One thing that I do is I constantly repeat, not a lot, but I repeat posts in terms of my why story. And I also repeat posts in terms of my intro, where I talk about, you know, who I am, because I'm constantly building my list. So I talk about who I am, what I'm about, and then I talk about my why story also in different, sometimes it's in the same post, sometimes it's in a different post. But I circulate that very often because I want people to know that they can do the same thing. Is your why story similar to mine? Is your why story, you know, does it match a portion of mine? Or, you know, are you completely opposite of mine, but you still are inspired by it? You know, whatever it is. And you don't need to have, you know, a tearjerker type of story like me. Like, you don't need to be having a disease or something to, you know, have to go through a new, you know, life adventure. You really don't. You just need to have that desire, that passion inside of you to want to change something. And that's what I wanted to change. You know, and I got involved with a health company because it just made sense. I wanted to better my health, and I also wanted a way to work from home. So it just fit like that. So everything's different. You know, you're going to have all different types of people. I meet people that sell makeup, you know, and that's totally cool because there's a lot of people that wear makeup. And, you know, that's a huge, huge, huge niche there. So yeah, so let's recap a bit before I go into the last 2 points of what does it take. So far we spoke about building, connecting daily, and following up with people, and you know, choosing those 2 days a week that are your heavier follow-up days to follow up with people. Now I mentioned Thursday and Friday because, you know, those are just the days that people tend to, one, be in a better mood, and they also get paid. They might get paid those days. So more likely to spend money. People are more likely to spend money on their actual payday because they just see all this money. So just a thought. So moving on, and then and then I also want to recap on the fact that you want to be able to, you know, find resources that'll help you to be able to better yourself and to develop yourself and your skills. So you want to be constantly learning. Your why story is going to be able to take you through the journey, and it's going to be able to take you through those bad times, which takes me to my next point of what does it take to be successful in network marketing? Grit. What is grit? Grit is the desire to keep doing something no matter how hard it gets. It's basically perseverance and persevering and overcoming something. So grit is a must as an entrepreneur, especially an entrepreneur, because some people are just nasty online. I guess they feel because they're behind a computer screen, they can just, you know, speak to people in a particular way that is just inappropriate and just plain rude. And you know, sometimes people, I guess they see it as a defense. So grit is a huge, huge, huge must, especially when it comes to network marketing. So the reason why I say that is because there's going to be bumps in the road. And I'm not saying maybe. There will be bumps in the road. You'll go through dark times where everybody will just flat out say no. You know, maybe people will give you the, oh, let me think about it. Maybe people will give you the, oh, I thought that was a scheme, or it sounded like it was such a scheme, and is there even a business model to this? And they just, you know, pester you, and they're just so nasty to you. You'll have people that straight up, you know, again, just say no. And people that go dark. There's people that will just straight up just ignore you and not even respond, leave you on red, and that's very, very rude too. So, you know, grit is going to take you through that. And this is when where your why story comes into the mix, because your why story is going to get you through that. So grit is what you need to persevere that obstacle, whatever it is going to be. And you can't give up. You can't just get down when that happens, because dark times and difficult times are needed for you to succeed. There has to be a balance in everything. It can't just be give. You can't just get all the rewards without going through some trial and tribulation, right? So you want to make sure that you are being able to have a good group to, you know, to latch onto, whether it's a friend that you joined with, whether it's, you know, a spouse, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend that knows and understands what you're going through and will be there in your darker times. So for me, it's mostly my boyfriend and a couple of my mentors, my uplines, who I lean on when I'm going through times like that, where I'm just like, so, you know, I feel like I'm overwhelmed with work, like my actual job. And I just feel like I'm losing sight of stuff. And again, the organization comes into play there. You have to be super organized. But even when I'm organized, I feel like I'm all over the place and I'm just overwhelmed. And I get really bad anxiety, especially if I'm flaring. So I will quickly and I'm also a Cancer, so I'm a crab. So I'll quickly withdraw myself and will just need to just take time for myself to reevaluate everything inside my little shell. I go through times like that, and I don't put it out there because it isn't part of my brand, my own personal brand, but I go through times like that a lot. And I want to make sure that even though you're going through times like that, I want you to know that there is a light. There's always a light at the end. So keep going, keep pushing. Those are not just words people are saying. That is real stuff, because we've gone through it. Any of your upline has gone through it and can definitely, support that statement. So you want to make sure that you're just pushing through, because it's not the end. Think about your why. Think about why you started. And also the fact that you said yes makes you a completely different person from the rest. So you are special. You are unique. Hold on to that, and push through. Prove people wrong. Don't let people just, say things to you or, bring you down, or don't let a situation bring you down like that. And it's easier said than done, trust me. And it does take a lot of work to be able to get to a point where you can kind of move through it every single time. And I can tell you that my beginning stages, within the first couple of months, I hit a bad patch at one point. I promoted, everything was great. I was I felt like the sky was the limit. And then I hit a bad month where I just was not doing very well. I think I signed up a handful of people, and that was not compared to my month before, that was just like, oh my God, like what is happening? Like, this is unbelievable. Like maybe this isn't for me. And I started to go down that path. And this is a couple months in. And, and honestly, like, I think it's so silly looking back at it, because it's just like, wow, look at where I am now though. Like I've been able to push through, and I've gone through so many hard times. Like in that time frame that situation happened and where I am now, my job was going through restructure, laying people off. I didn't know if I was going to have a job. It's my main source of income. It pays my rent. So you can only imagine how I was freaking out for a while. I was just like, you know, talking to my mentor, and I was just like, I don't know what is going to happen. This is really stressing me out. And then I kind of shifted where I was just like, I don't need to like worry about this. I will place that in God's hands. Let him take care of this. I'm going to focus on what I have control over, and that's my business. I have control over my business. I have control over my paycheck. I have control over what it is that will take me far in the end, you know, what I'm trying to make the end goal, right? So that's where I shifted my focus. So it's not about, oh my God, this and that. It's about, where is the positivity? Where can I grow something? So the grit to take you through crazy situations like that, you know, is going to, that honestly is going to take you through. And again, you were never given what you cannot handle by God. So you got to trust that things are just going to work out as best as they can, right? All right. So that could, you know, just to kind of sum everything up there, what does it take to be successful? You want to obviously make sure you're on top of things, you're organized, you're following up with people, you're talking. Then you also want to make sure you're focusing on yourself, self-development. You are your own boss. Take care of yourself. You know, you have to make sure that you are good. This is good. You're focused and you're ready to go. So that is that. So the next thing I want to talk about is just, you know, just branding and the importance of branding. And then I'm going to wrap things up, and I'm going to make a new topic for next week. So just stay tuned for that. And if you have any people that you know would love something like this and would love to just get some more information about things, just let me know, you know, or let them know, and we can totally add you to the group. I'm more than happy to add as many like-minded people to this group. So branding. What is branding? You know, you hear about branding all the time. When you're an online entrepreneur or online network marketer, you need to make sure that any online presence you have is, you know, clean, super, super clean, consistent, in terms of the voice, in terms of the look and feel, and just in terms of like what you're saying about yourself, like what you're actually saying about yourself and posting and stuff. So think of profiles as an online resume. That is the best way that I can put it together. So you have your bio, which is the first thing people will see online. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, does not matter. YouTube is maybe a little bit different because it's like you have to click onto their page. But say you clicked onto their profile page, right? So the bio is there, or the about on YouTube. So you want to make sure that everything that's on there goes straight to the point as to who you are as a person. The last thing you want to do is leave someone wondering about who you are. So if I were to go to my profile page, because I actually don't remember what it is. Sorry. So on my profile page, my bio says God's plan, lupus warrior, goal digger, healthy life, mentor, artist, makeup, foodie. So that pretty much sums up me in a nutshell, which is what you want to do. That is the goal you want to have when it comes to your intro. You want people to know exactly who you are. I also have other pages that I manage there because I manage other brands, as I mentioned, and I have my actual full-time job there that I work for Gannett full-time. Gannett is the parent company of USA Today. So that is what is on mine. People can pretty much get a great idea about what it is. And if you scroll down a little bit more, whether you're on a mobile device or you're on a desktop, I also have featured pictures there. And I have it broken up into different segments. So I have love, which focuses on my boyfriend. So I'm in a relationship. People will be able to see that right away. I'm all about friends and family. That's super important to me and my life. And then I'm a foodie, huge foodie. So I have all my pictures there. I have a Foodstagram. So I have all my pictures there. And then just different things about my life. I'm a lupus warrior. I do the lupus walk. I have 2 cats, and I love to drink from a coconut. At least that's what you get from my from my bio. But it basically is supposed to paint the picture that like I'm pretty much up for anything, which for the most part, yep, totally am. So you want to make sure that your bio is, really, really clean and consistent. I have a similar bio when it comes to my Instagram, but it's not exactly the same verbatim. And I cannot find my cell phone. I wanted to show you guys my bio, but I can't find my phone, but it's okay. But if you want to look at it, it's on Instagram. It's just at Kelsey Belgrave. That's my Instagram profile. And you can see how mine is a little different there. And it's also because there's not a lot of space. So what you want to make sure when it comes to your bio, what are you about in a nutshell? Nothing crazy. Don't put a cliche quote there. Put what you are about, because people going to your thing, okay, let's rewind for a second. Go back to remember when I said that you should be communicating with people in groups and building relationships with people in groups. So now you're building that relationship, right? Those people are going to click on your profile and they're going to be like, who is this girl? Who is Kelsey? What is she about? The first thing that they're going to see is that bio section, and that'll give them an idea. Now the next thing they're going to do is probably scroll through my timeline, which is where I'm going to go now. So ending that up, you want to make sure that you're doing that. Things not to do when it comes to your bio is to not be sarcastic, nothing nasty, no cursing. Like, I see a lot of F-bombs on people's bios for some reason. No idea why. But you want to make sure that that's not there. I see people also write works at none of your business. That's just plain rude. And if it really is nobody's business, why are you posting it online? That's just proving that you're just trying to be rude to somebody. So, all right, guys, you guys are live. Let's stay. Let's stay here. So, stop it. He's so hyper. Anyway, he just knocked down this thing. But goes back to my point. So you want to make sure that you are not being rude online, because again, this is your first impression. So going on to the next part that people will see is your posts. What are you posting? What are people saying? What are you sharing? Again, your profile is your resume. So you want to make sure that things that are on there, I always teach people to tell a story, and telling a story is probably the best thing that you can do online, because that's how people are going to relate to you. People have come to me directly to say, I related to your story, whether they're on my team or not. And that's what I'm trying to do, is build the story. So, one thing to not do is post anything negative. Again, negativity in general attracts more negativity. So one thing I actually do is I delete people that are negative. Whether you're somebody that I've known for years or whether you're someone that I just met, I delete them, because I don't need to see negativity on my newsfeed, and that's how I see things. I don't need it. I don't want to see it. I really want to make a point that I surround myself with positive people as much as I can, because some things you can't control. When you're out in the road, for example, or you're driving, there's crazy people out there. So you're going to meet negative people, in the day-to-day. So why are you going to, put yourself through it when you have the option to not follow that person, right? So I literally will just unfriend, delete people that, or unfollow people that are negative, or posting things that are just inappropriate. Because again, why are you doing that online? So my point, again, people like that are not trustworthy. So if you are trying to reach random people on the internet, which is what most people do in network marketing, we meet people online, you want to make sure that you are painting the right image. Ask yourself, would I want to work with you? Would I want to work with Kelsey? Now, if I was constantly cursing, gossiping, saying bad things about people, I wouldn't want to work with me, because I'm like, okay, well, if I do something that upsets this girl, she's just going to talk, all talk about me. And, that's not what I want. Obviously. So you want to make sure that you're painting the image and becoming the person that you want your business to look like. Do you want a negative looking business? Do you want a business that is deemed negative by other people, that people say is annoying and stuff? No, you want to change that perception, right? We're trying to change the stigma of network marketing. So you want to make sure that you are, being positive. And when you're being positive online, you just become such an inspirational hub for people. And that's what people really like to, connect with when they're online, because that's what's going to make them happy. That's what's going to make them smile. I've had someone message me one time, this girl that I didn't even know I was friends with, to be honest, because we must have became friends with from a group or something, because I just didn't remember how I knew her. And she wrote me a message, this whole long message about how she's been following my posts for the past week and how she's been so depressed lately, and how my posts have been keeping her going to work and just going about her day to day, because she reads it and she feels that she can do anything at that point. And I honestly got choked up, and I got taken aback by that, because I was like, wow, I didn't realize, what I was doing. Everything I talk about is just my life and just how I see things. And just, I feel that I just want to make sure that people aren't alone. And maybe I feel that way because having lupus makes you feel like you're alone, because no one understands it unless you have it. So I just want other people to feel that way too, that, you're not the only one going through what you're going through, or, just because you're going through a hard time doesn't make it the end. And there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what I'm trying to, bring about to people. So that really, really touched me. I loved getting messages like that. And that really what is the reward for me, more than, the financial part. Like, the financial part is great, but really for me, it really is all about the motivation, the inspiration, and just, being there for people and teaching them to become, what they're trying to be. They want this, they just don't know how to get it. So here I am, and I want to help you guys, get to where you want to be. And, just kind of ignite that spark. So branding overall, it is your online resume. Your profile is your online resume. So clean it up, make sure it looks good as possible. Look at it, from, put yourself in someone else's shoes, a random person visiting you for the first time. What is their first impression of you going to be? And that's what you want. And obviously a lot of people on my team I have not met in person before. And you've joined me for a reason, right? And people that join me, joined me for a reason, because I am the person that I am, and I'm trying to just bring that across. And thank God for technology, because I can go on video and I can, do things live so people know exactly who I am, and that, what I'm posting is actually me, and that's actually my voice, and that is not just, a facade or anything. That's actually me. That's just me in a nutshell as a person. I'm just a girl that loves to have fun. That's really what it is. So you want to make sure that that is all consistent. So let us wrap everything up for this first kickoff. I had so much fun talking about this stuff, and I can't wait to go into more like granular details about, different topics, like, how to utilize, I did one on how to utilize stories. I can totally do that again because it's changing. I can do one that focuses on the Facebook algorithm, so many different types of topics that are on the horizon, and I really, really cannot wait to share them. But let's do a quick recap. So, what is this group about? This group is all about collaboration, growth, inspiring others, developing our own selves by learning from like-minded people that are doing the same thing we're doing, or something, of a different nature, but all similar topics that we're talking about, right? You want to break the stigma of what online marketing is, what it means to be a stay-at-home boss babe, and, just taking control of your time and your life. What does that mean? And more people can be doing this, right? So when it comes to succeeding in network marketing, you want to make sure that you are building, connecting daily. Every single day, you should be talking to somebody new. And if you are not talking to somebody new every single day, multiple times a day, there's no way you're going to grow at a very fast speed. You will have a very slow, much slower speed. And that is just fact there, because it's a numbers game at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that you are, you know, playing those numbers out. Following up with all of those people is super important, because you want to make sure that you are staying top of mind. Now, following up is very similar to a marketing strategy that we pitch to a lot of businesses called retargeting. You might have heard of it. You might have not heard of it. It's okay. It doesn't matter. But that's basically what it is. It's following up. You want to make sure you're top of mind. So think about it this way. When you're online and you go to, you know, Zara, and you're on the Zara site, you don't buy anything. Now you're just browsing on a blog or something, and you see that Zara ad. That is what you want to be. You know, you want to be top of mind. You want to be there and just say like, hey, like, even if it's not like, hey, you know, about product, you don't always want to be about product, but be top of mind. Just catch up with the person, ask them how they're doing, ask them how their day is. If it's a holiday weekend, ask them if they have any plans. If it's their birthday, ask them if they have any plans. You know, just keep it casual, because they'll remember you, and they'll remember like, oh my God, that's the girl with that product, right? But if you are in front of them that whole time, super awesome. You want to make sure that you are being top of mind, becoming their friend, building that relationship. Following up builds the relationship. Don't be salesy. Don't only be about the sale, because if you're only talking to them about the sale, they're eventually going to notice that, and they're going to be like, hey, this person does not care about me. They just want they just want my money. They just want me to join them. They just want this. They don't actually care about me. So you want to make sure that you're caring about them, you know. So following up. Constantly learning, you know, that's the whole point of the group. Bettering ourselves, going to trainings, bettering our knowledge, and just learning every single day. If you are not learning an actual skill, read, you know, look up some Bible verses that are going to be good. You know, if you're going through a tough time, look up a Bible verse for that time to get you through that time. You know, read really great books. And if you want a list of books to check out, I have a list of books. Would love to share it, but entrepreneur focused books, books that are based on like network marketing for the most part, like 4-hour work week stuff, just super inspirational stuff, building your own business, and things like that are really going to shape your mind completely. Listening to podcasts, you know, so that's going to be what you want to constantly learn. And your why story is going to take you through it all. Along with the grit that you need to push through that, but the why story is what is going to actually get you through, right? And then we ended it all with the branding stuff. So the branding is your online resume. You want to make sure that your profile is, you know, clean and exactly who you are online, who you want people to see you as. But make it yourself. You know, being yourself is key, because if you are a completely different person on camera than you are online, people are going to notice that. They're definitely going to notice that eventually. And they're going to be like, wait, this girl isn't as nice as she seems, you know. So you want to make sure that you are consistent. You know, just be yourself. It's really hard to be somebody else. It really is. So be yourself, you know, because you are unique in your own way, and people will gravitate to you. It just will take some time. You know, and some people move faster than others, but that's usually because they're more outgoing. You know, it really has nothing to do with you as a person. Just put yourself out there more, be more open, let somebody connect with you. So that is pretty much my, you know, how I'm going to end things tonight. Are there any questions? I wanted to make sure I left a couple of minutes at the end just for some questions. So if you have any questions, type it in the chat, or you can also, I can also unmute you, but just let me know if you have any questions. And obviously, you know, ask any questions in this group, and I'm sure as more people, you know, start to join, they'll be able to add their 2 cents and everything like that too. So let me know. But I am super, super excited to kind of get things going along with this. And I really, really hope things pick up, and, you know, the right people will start to not the right people, but like people that are runners, people that are going to help inspire and make the group what it is going to be. You know, that is going to be super, super powerful. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen when that comes about. But that's it for today. I want to give everyone back the rest of their night. So bye. I will upload this on my YouTube channel, and then I will put this in the group after that. All right. Bye.